should be up on everything now.
Okay. It's saying 180 shift is live. Is that true?
Oh no. It shouldn't be. Unless they're live separately.
No. You probably added the wrong thing. Knife? There's one telling them on Instagram.
Oh.
It's Mavchi.
No.
Yeah, that's why Chen Masu Mavkan's Instagram of 9. It's on copper, like just the whole point of it, you know.
Right.
Since Ashka Menake to make it Akan Jatsustani like.
Yeah, that was my bad. But we're live on everything else.
Okay, that's fine.
Red Angeles on Instagram is also live, so I'm gonna cue the theme in like half a minute, okay?
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Очень. Mior. Geskanaste miran kokneme stranice to. Because I don't know each one. I have no idea what's going on really, so I can't even.
There's a lot of thing parts.
Moving parts.
A lot of
Yes,
moving
yes.
parts.
Something I never would have been able to do.
48.
Alright, well. I don't know where everyone's gonna watch that. We need a curtain. Earmuffs. Oh yes. I have to make this shorter actually.
That's accurate. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everyone to another wonderful Wednesday night of Good Talks with Bad Moms. And first of all, I'd like to thank everyone who stuck around and waited for this wonderful episode to air. We really appreciate you. There's a lot of moving parts here, lots of things happening, so we got to get everything set up and perfect for our viewing audience. Today I have none other than Ani Vartanian, and if you don't know her, you'll get to know her. Ani's a wonderful woman. She's a wonderful human being, and this is her second time actually on Bad Moms. And if you are an OG Bad Moms audience, you'll know this. Ani, without further ado, welcome to Bad Moms. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank
today.
you so much for having me here.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for having me here. I feel so honored to be here.
No, the honor is all mine. Thank you, and the pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
I invited you to Bad Moms because your energy is very unique.
Thank you.
Perspectives on life is wonderful. It's fresh, it's light, and you exude that in your videos that you share with us online. So I feel like it's a good treat for the viewing audience to get to have a conversation with you.
Why, thank you.
When you're not dancing, you're strutting your stuff with Tico.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead and introduce yourself to your audience, my audience.
So my name is Ani Vartanian. My career is loans. I am in the lending industry. I am a mom. I'm a wife.
A bad mom.
A bad mom, yeah. I'm a wife and a mom, and I just love to live life. I could just honestly say that about me, that I like to have a good time and take the stress out of everyday living and just focus on the good. And that's what makes my life go around every single day. So that's a little backstory on who I am and what I do.
Highlight about
a little thing, yeah.
Well, another highlight about you is that through your perspective on life and how to live life with fun, you create content for your page. And I bet it just started off as just fun, but now a lot of people are looking forward to watching your stuff online.
Yeah,
They want to share with us how it evolved.
It's wild. So, my first podcast that I did with you was how long ago?
2 years at least.
2.5, right? Yeah. So I started to become really active on social. I want to say about a good 3.5 years that when I left corporate, and I started to, build my own book for my loan industry. And I'm like, how do I get out there? How are people going to know who I am? Because you can only be at one place at a time. So I started to go ahead and explore the idea of getting myself on social. And that's what I did. I would just pick up the phone and I would start speaking. And I was really active on it. And I want to say about 1 year ago, about 8-9 months ago, I was going through my drafts, and I ended up looking at a draft that I did on me dancing Michael Jackson.
She means a real draft.
Yeah. A real. Sorry, technical
users.
difficulty. Yeah, a real. And I was looking through that, and I'm like, how fun would it be if I do a voiceover critiquing myself dancing to this? And that's what I did, and I did it, and I posted it, and then it just took off from
That's
there.
hilarious.
And now, like, I just do these voiceovers.
You
and
guys,
all
you
that,
know
and
what
it's
she
fun.
did with that? Like, she really hacked her brain. So the reason why it was in the drafts in the first place was she was unconfident to post that per se. Well,
Yeah, so I did post one.
yeah.
Of me dancing, and then this one was another one that I did. So it was 2 videos. One of them I posted, and it was the one of the new song Texas.
Okay.
They're saying Texas,
Right, with Beyonce.
Ooh, yeah, one.
That's the first one you started with?
That's the first one. No, I'm sorry. I posted the one of Michael Jackson, and then I didn't post this one. This one I saved in the draft.
So you weren't unconfident, you were just drafting.
I was just,
because I was like maybe she did a mind hack and like told her, like, critiquing yourself out loud is a mind hack, and then you put it in front of other people to watch you do it. So that's what I took it as, like, if talk about it.
That makes sense because I don't know how to dance country, right?
Okay.
So, and I'm doing these like moves with that with that song. So I'm like, okay, I'll just save it. And then that was my first voiceover that I did, actually.
So you did hack yourself. Yeah, that's amazing. And then it's probably turned out to be one of the funniest videos. Because it started your track for that, right? The voiceover track.
The voiceovers.
So if people don't know, Ani, you got to watch her videos, okay? I can't even explain it, but she makes it fun to be posting online. Like, there's no reservations.
Right.
She expresses herself as she is in life, and for me that's a breath of fresh air, because when you watch people living their best life, like, it's what else can you and then authentically,
it's what it is.
And with confidence. And I want to commend you on that before we talk about anything else. So
thank you, Narina.
that's what gravitated me
sweet.
towards you.
Thank you, Yankas. Thank you so much. And if this is what I believe, if you're going to do social every day, you have to be yourself every day. Because if you're not going to show people who you are, that's not going to last long. It can only last months, or maybe, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do it if I wasn't showing who I am. I couldn't. Right? Like, because I can only pretend for so long. You know what I'm saying? But if you're authentic and yourself, and you just pick up the phone and you start to speak, I do stories every single day. Sometimes I do too many, but I like it. I really enjoy connecting with a good audience. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I simply just like doing it. And so far, it's great.
And you're just growing, and you're seeing the growth, and not just growing as far as your numbers or data, but growing as far as relationships,
connections
that you're making with people.
Yeah, connections. It's not the amount of the following that you have. It's the engagement and the people that actually, reach out to you, and the connections that I have made is unreal. I've connected with such great humans on this app. And so I think if you use social in a good way, it's a very good tool to have.
Is.
Very good
I mean,
tool.
we connected on social.
We did.
And for
We
sure.
did,
And connected
we
with
are.
so many people on social media.
And it's
if
nice.
it's done right, you win at it.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
You connect. Yeah. You grow. Okay, so one of the things that you're famous for is your dancing with your spouse, Tico. The Adventures of Ani and Tico. And, looking at Tico, like you would think he's like a serious Armenian man. Like
I get that a
you
lot.
approach him with caution. He's being serious, and then like he'll come into the video with maybe you imagine him with smoking a cigarette or something, and then breaks out into salsa and merengue and dances with you, and
Tico knows how to move. Norina, he knows moves. Actually, Tico is the one that taught me how to salsa dance.
I love that.
Yeah, so all of the moves that I know, he taught me, and he's a great dancer, and I get that a lot. Actually, that he doesn't come off as that, but he's fun. He knows how to move. He knows how to have like a good time and all that. So all of these videos that I do with him, he's on board with it. People think like,
you're forcing him.
But like, trust me, if he didn't want to do it, he wouldn't.
Right. That's
so
amazing. That shows your relationship with him, how strong it is, because you guys are able to be silly with each other.
Right.
Even though there's no live audience.
Right.
But you're in front of constant eyes.
Right.
Your relationship is probably being monitored, so to say, or studied or admired, replicated. Who knows how you're...
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that, to be very honest with you. Tico and I, we have fun. And we have a good time together. It doesn't matter where we are. We could just be home on a random weekday. We'll have fun. We go out of town. We have fun. And I think that's what makes the union so great, because we're always on the same page. This did take a lot of time, a lot of effort and all that. And I think he appreciates who I am, and I appreciate and respect who he is. We both have that boundary with each other, and that's just how we live. So whatever that you see on here is the same you'll see at a party. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
You can't really keep faking that.
You can't. No, you can't. Yeah.
That's beautiful. He is your husband, like you like to... I mean, I called my guy my husband, too.
Yeah.
And even before we were married, he was still my husband, because we live with each other, we raise kids with each other.
Right.
And so that relationship, that companionship that you develop with this person, that sets the tone for the rest of your life. And you guys are raising kids with each other, too, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so they're seeing you guys as union.
Yeah.
They're seeing what you guys have developed and are more conscious probably about their relationships as they grow. They're of age, I'm assuming, some of them.
Yeah, so Tico's son is 24, daughter is 22. My older son is 18, younger one is 13. So we have, it's all across the map. And these 4 gems, I call them gems because they truly, our union, Tico's and mine, they see us and they respect it, and they have always gone with it, and they learn to embrace it. So in our household, there is a structure, meaning like one respects the other. And I think if you have a large family like this, coming from 2 different worlds, uniting into one, that respect factor towards one another has to be there. So I respect his kids. I respect my kids. Tico respects my kids. My son, both of my kids respect him. So, and I think that's what makes the union and the bond even more stronger.
It's definitely due to the parents and how they exemplify how each other should treat each other.
That's what it is.
I personally would blame or praise any parent in any relationship for the outcome of their children.
Right.
And I said that, blame or praise.
Right.
It's never the kids' fault.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I always say, I have two boys, right? And raising boys, it's different than raising girls, right? So I always say, like, I don't care if my kids become, of any sort of a profession. All I want for my kids to be good humans. To me, that's the most important thing that I would feel like I have done good to my kids. If they have good hearts, they're good humans. They walk into a room and they're respected. So it's like they walk in and they're like, oh, he's here. Not that, oh, he's here kind of a thing, So I think as a mom, that's one of the things that has been and always will be important for me to lead by example to my kids. And because now they're somewhat of age, I and I am seeing that such good humans that they are. And I do believe that building confidence in kids is very important from a very young age.
Yeah.
So until this day, I'll just pass by them and I'll be like, I am so proud of you. And they'll turn to me and be like, for what? I go, for having the best heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that, because what you're doing is you're putting emphasis on something that is going to be with them for the rest of their life.
rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. And I do that too with my boys.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so important for them to hear it from their moms or maternal figures in their life, because even though I criticize, but and I'm going to write a book about this, the toxic parent. Even though I do the criticism, I do catch myself criticizing, and I do catch myself having to like correct my criticism, because what they're doing is they're imprinting whatever you're telling them, and they're becoming that thing that you're telling them. So
very true.
So I have to be conscious about that, what I say to them, because yes, they are absorbing everything.
Correct. Do you ever apologize to your
time,
kids? Me too.
All the time.
I'm constantly apologizing. I find myself, I'm so sorry. And, if you're wrong, you say you're wrong.
You have to.
That's it. You say that you're wrong, whether your kid is 5 or 7 or 18.
They'll remember that for the rest of their lives, that you as a parent were accountable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm screeching that from the top of my lungs all the time about accountability, because if your kids lose trust in you, and the way they lose trust in you is if they start seeing inconsistencies.
Correct.
And if they see inconsistencies with how you're acting, what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're not doing, what you said you were going to do and didn't do. And when you don't take ownership of your bullshit,
right,
they see that and they don't respect it. And they may love you as their parent, but they won't respect you.
Very true.
And if respect is big in your family, which it is, then that means you got to remain consistent.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you remain consistent with your family? Like we just talked about, like you apologize.
I do apologize. I find myself apologizing to my 13-year-old all the time, because he remembers what I have told him Monday, and come Friday, if that hasn't been done, I will apologize to him, and I will do whatever that was promised to him, but I will let him know why it wasn't. So, and it's just things where me as a mom, one of the things that was very important to me is that no matter the age, that your child has feelings. Your child has a heart, they have a brain, they have feelings, they understand more than you know. Just because they're not of age to do something doesn't mean, so I have been very big on not hurting my kids' feelings. Very big on that.
Or at least becoming accountable and fixing that and
so
changing your behavior.
I did, So it's just that I think has earned a lot of respect in my household, because accountability. Narnajan, I mean, we're not perfect, right? It doesn't come with a manual how to be. Your life changes, your kids' life change with it too. So it's just learning how to adjust. And I think if you do have that common ground, it will eventually work out.
For sure. And you mentioned that, it's a blended family.
Yes.
I especially love blended families, not because I've also created one, but because that gives hope for the children to grow up with some sort of like sanity, so to say. I don't want to
normality. Yeah.
Not even so much the longing of being normal, but like having that family structure.
Right.
Because it sucks when it's broken. And nobody gets married to get a divorce.
Nobody does. Yeah.
You know, you don't get married on your wedding night. You're like, I can't wait for 12 years of my life.
You're not walking down the aisle and be like, you have about 10 years with you. No.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. No. So it sucks for the kids because they are probably the biggest victims in all of it. Yeah. You don't want to raise them as such. You want to understand it's probably, if I didn't do this, life would have been this way.
Right. Yeah.
If I had the knowledge that I do now, maybe I would have changed things about how the relationship was going.
True.
You stick together. So if you want to touch on that,
sure.
You don't have to get into detail because I do respect everyone's privacy. But as far as for you, how was it like transitioning your kids out of divorce into a relationship with another man?
It's not easy. Obviously, that's like a given. So when I got a divorce, I did live with my parents for 3 years. I did have the option of going out on my own, but my kids were so young. I still wanted them to have that family structure, whether if it's gonna be from my dad and my mom and all that. So I wanted that environment, even though it was very hard, because moving back and living with your parents, obviously it's not the same as when you're 15 years old anymore. Sure. So it was hard. And then when Tico and I decided to go ahead and move out on our own, I did. So one of the major things that I looked at is Tico gonna have enough patience for my kids? And reason why I say that is because my kids are a lot younger than his. So that was my main thing. And I saw the way he loves, and will continue to love my kids, the way that he does. So he really is a really good stepdad for my kids, So that's my main thing that I was looking for, to see how is that going to be and how are my kids going to embrace him. So it took a lot of time. It took a lot of effort. But when you lead by example, I think the kids, if they love you enough and respect you enough, they understand. A lot of talking, a lot of, just coming together. So that's one thing. And if you want to.
Yeah, no, I resonate with that as well because of how I had to transition my kids, but my kids were much younger.
Yeah.
So it's amazing when you find that companionship and he accepts you for all of you. And when I say accept, it sounds kind of harsh, but that's what it is, because a lot of single moms with kids get a bad rep.
Yeah.
Don't touch her, don't go to her, don't be with her, and it's like the kids are not at fault, and neither is the single mom, and neither is the single dad, by the way, because there's a single dad in the equation too. Yeah. Like, why does he get to not go under the scrutiny?
Right.
So no one gets scrutinized for this, because life happens. And again, I'm not saying it because of my own experience, but so many people are unfortunately,
well, of course,
separating.
It happens, and you don't want that to happen. Listen, divorce was not in my vocabulary. I was so adamant to not get a divorce. I was so adamant on that for years. And, eventually the time came where you kind of don't have another choice but to go ahead and get a divorce. So that's what happened. But I still love and respect my ex-husband. I always will. I will always have a love for him because he is the father of my kids. And it didn't work out between us, but he's always going to be there in my life.
Right.
So that's one thing that obviously Tico is very much on board with. So these are the things, the minute things that people don't look for. They just look at love and this and that. But these are qualities that you need to go ahead and look for in a man, especially as a single mom going into a new relationship. How is it going to be if you call your, kids father? Is it going to not allow that? Is it going to, you know what I'm saying? So all of these things that sometimes it does happen. So
it happens a lot.
It does happen a lot. So, I still have a really great relationship with him, and my kids love that. They see that. And, it didn't work out between him and I. It doesn't mean we shouldn't live our life.
Sure.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And just be peaceful, because what's the whole point of getting a divorce if you're going to keep fighting with each other after the divorce? Like, stay married and keep fighting. What are you doing? So, we definitely...
every case is different.
It is. And I say that very, as a matter of factly, it's either black or white.
Yeah.
But what it really is you have to make that decision. The decision is black and white. Like, do I want to have peace or do I want to have chaos?
Right.
And when you decide that you want to have peace, then you have to draw back a little bit.
Right.
You can't want peace and then go forward with a weapon, you know, or use your kids against them. That you're never going to have peace.
Never. Yeah.
I didn't go through the court system, by the way. I don't know. I'm not saying no one should know, but I'm saying I did not want that. I didn't
either, to be honest with you. I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision I could have made for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. And I did actually talk about this, I want to say a few weeks ago, where I was doing a Q&A and somebody asked me, they're like, oh, what advice would you give for co-parenting? And I can only give advice of what I know, right? What I do, what I did, and whatever worked for me. So when we got a divorce, I just learned to delete everything that happened and mentally go back to where I first fell in love with him, and just use that tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way it eliminates drama, eliminates everything negative. Yeah. To just use that tone with them. And eventually, we got to a place where it was really good communication between him and I, because we do it for the kids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one might argue, well, if, you did it for the kids, why couldn't you do it for the kids when you were married?
Yeah.
It's because we're not the same people as we were when we were married.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, and I do believe that people do evolve as humans, right? We're supposed to evolve. And when your spouse doesn't evolve and you do, it's kind of difficult.
Right.
So, but there are many other challenges and all that went into everything. But, that's just...
The evolution is tricky because when people stay in relationships that they should evolve from, then they devolve. They go backwards. Because they know that they need to go forward, but they don't. And so what they have to do is they suppress themselves, stay in that relationship and harm the children, harm themselves, harm that relationship anyway. It's already harmed. So how can anyone find courage then to move from that, to evolve from that kind of relationship? Like, what would you think you could tell someone to do? And this will be the final statement for this topic.
Sure. My opinion. Have you ever listened to Dr. Laura?
No.
Schlesinger?
No.
Okay, so I used to listen to her a lot, AM 640.
Okay.
She's a very conservative thinker. She believes in the whole mom should stay at home, raise their kids. If the husband cheats, what did the wife do wrong, kind of a thing. So I used to listen to her all the time. And she said that the only way of the only 3 A's that suffices in a person getting a divorce is addiction, abuse, adultery. If your spouse, man or woman, has any one of these 3 or has done any one of these 3, it's grounds for divorce. Everything else is fixable. So to your point where if that person is not evolving, I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I personally wouldn't get a divorce for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't.
If you don't see eye to eye anymore, like, or you can't.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean,
Like
I
right
don't.
now, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Right now, I wouldn't. Yeah. Maybe at that time.
Maybe
but
at that time I would have.
Yeah. But those 3 A's, if, you know, that has always resonated with me. And I do think that's true.
Okay.
I believe that.
Addiction, abuse, and
adultery. Yeah. If any one of those 3 A's.
In those kinds of
yeah,
relationships.
they do.
Yeah.
They do. And, you know, I didn't. So.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Period.
That's it. Yeah. I didn't.
Okay. So now moving on to, you know, lighter subjects, I suppose. You are creating content right now for different companies and different businesses and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the commercials you're doing. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do you come up with it?
So I'll get reached out, you know, they'll be like, okay, Ani, do you want to come here? And, you know, I don't say yes to everybody because, you know, that person you need to gravitate towards them somehow, you know, first conversation and all that. I'll go there and then I'll go ahead and film with my phone, and then I'll come back home and then I'll go ahead and piece together the clips, and I'll just start doing a voiceover on it. Voiceovers have a deep meaning, Narina, if you want to take a look at it. So I was saying voiceovers, the ones that I do for, let's say I did one for Ellen, right? Mm-hmm. So, and she's a accident attorney, and she's one of the best humans that I have met, you know? So I went to her office and I'm doing the filming, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, here I am at this office, right? Everybody's attorney, they're working on big cases, and here I am to do a voiceover, right? So something fun, something light. What does that tell me? The people that reach out and want me to go ahead and, you know, do a video for them, no matter the industry that they are in, no matter the status, everybody wants to have a good time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they want to come home to a good laugh.
Yeah.
You know,
for
and
sure.
I respect that. So I'll go ahead and film. I'll come home and I will remember what that person has done, and I'll just go ahead and do a voiceover on it, and it's fun, and it's funny, and it's fun, and it's light. So
it's getting a lot of attention for sure.
Yeah.
And now you're ambassador for a few companies.
This has become so
and it's so fun because, like, I'm looking, speaking of evolution, I'm looking at your evolution, and, you know, you're growing and growing and growing and gaining more traction. And I love that for you because I feel like you have a lot to offer our community as far as the examples that you...
I love being Armenian.
I love being Armenian too.
I love being Armenian.
It's different.
I love our culture. I love our community. I just love it. 90% of my people that watch me are Armenian. 90% of my content is Armenian. And I'm so comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
In Armenian.
There's a lot of learning that people can do from you as far as confidence is concerned.
Yeah.
Where do you draw that confidence from?
I want to say, to be very honest with you, now, I could not have this conversation with you sitting here in my 20s.
Okay.
I couldn't. Simply because I just couldn't. Now I can because I do have the confidence, as you say, but I don't consider myself as a confident person, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't.
Why not?
I just don't. Because I feel like I do have a lot of insecurities. I don't believe in that word. Like, I'm so confident. I don't know. To me, that kind of irks me because I don't think you're ever that confident. We all have room to grow.
She gets unconfident with all her confidence, everyone.
I mean, that's just me. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. And that's what keeps you from like posting something. That's what keeps you from putting things in a draft, because like you're unsure of stuff. And I'm using social media reference because that's what we're talking about. But like when you're unsure of how it's going to be received, then yeah, you become unconfident. I feel like when you don't care about how it's going to be received, you post. You put yourself out there however you want. You talk to people. You get on podcasts. You know, even though it's still not true, because you still care about how it's perceived.
Of course I do.
But now you're more confident about how it's going to be perceived.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime, I think anybody that posts and they say, oh, I don't care what people think, I don't believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't. Because you're putting
Posting.
it out there to receive good feedback. You're not doing it to just, so
get bad feedback.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, I think every post, every video, I mean, it's not like I sit there and be like, oh my gosh, how is it going to do? No, but you want it to do good, right?
Yeah.
Because you care how it's going to do. So, but I just don't believe in that word confident. Like, I'm so confident. Like, I don't know. But
you know what you know.
Yeah, exactly. So the confidence that I have right now, I do want to go ahead and thank my husband, Tigran, for that. Because he does give me that push. He does give me the strength. And 90% of the time, like anything that I want to do, he's like, don't worry about it. Do it. I am behind you like a soldier. So that's what gives me the confidence to move forward, to do it, you know?
And shout out to Tico for being that guy. I feel like
he is. Truly,
that's what a companionship is.
He's a nice guy. He's like truly like the love of my life. He really is, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I say it to everybody. Do you
think people are
I praise him
of their spouses?
I don't know, ashamed or not,
or
but
to say
I
that they're
just
the love
feel
of my life.
I feel like good men, they don't get praised as often as they should,
or at all.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I don't think they get praised.
Shout out, babe. I love you too.
Yeah, see, it's nice. It's nice.
It is.
Yeah, it's nice.
He's watching the kids for me right now, so I could do this, you know, and he supports
a good man.
Yeah.
He supports it.
Yeah.
Right?
And which is interesting because I told him, I'm like, hey, you know, when our daughter grows up, I'm actually not ever going to expect her to do anything. It's the same thing you said. Like, I don't really want a profession or a careerist or whatever for my daughter. I want her to be a good woman. Raise good children.
Right.
You know, give me grandchildren. That's what I want. Like, I'll do whatever it takes right now just so I can make sure that is the reality for her. If should she want it, of course. But she'll only not want it if I don't glorify it.
If you, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I always wanted to be a mom, but then like the whole feminist movement came into play, and you know, it takes you away in a little bit. It takes you, sidelines you a little, because you start chasing the career and not understanding how to live a wholesome life with your family. Yeah. In my personal experience, anyway. So like when I got out of that feminist mentality, I suppose, it just made it so much more clear for me how I want to proceed as a woman.
As a woman, yeah. I mean, that's a good mentality to have and live by. I'm just going to give you my experience on that. I did try that, and I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. It was weighing so heavily on my mental health, being home.
Okay.
Yeah, and I need to be out. I need that. I need to have contact with people. I need to see people. It's not like stay-at-home moms don't. And I praise stay-at-home moms. I think they are so strong mentally, emotionally for doing what they do.
And people don't want to give credit to stay-at-home moms because they're like, oh, what are you doing? But like, have you stayed at home?
Oh my gosh.
With a
I
kid?
think I respect and
Yeah.
love, first, I respect and love all women. I do. I'm a girl's girl for sure. But stay-at-home moms just resonate differently with me. I respect them on another level for doing what they do because
Yeah.
it's not easy. Narina, it's not easy.
It's not easy for working moms either because they have
It's
to do
not too, yeah.
they have to do it in 3 hours after
Right.
they get home, whatever they have
Yeah.
to do all day.
That's true.
So
That's why,
all
like,
moms.
sometimes I get help.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get help because I'm like, I can't do this and this and that, I used to, but now I get some help.
It's what's important is spending the time with your kids.
Yeah.
Like I get caught up feeling guilty. I posted it today, but I get caught up feeling guilty for not cleaning, and I get caught up feeling guilty for not hanging out with my kids.
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, but I got to hang out with my kids. But I got
Right.
and and the healthy balance, which I don't know if it exists, but the healthier alternative is asking for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do we have a hard time doing that?
Well, when I say ask for help, I want to, like, for example, me not cooking.
Okay.
Like I'll order from same day meals. I'll get food from her. So that eliminates that, right? But sometimes my kids and my husband want to go ahead and come home to a house that smells like food. So I am conscious of that too. But I get tired. So,
Yeah.
so I'll go ahead and do like a balance with that. Having a housekeeper come to my house once a week, that's a must for
Right.
me. And maybe it's taboo, maybe it's not, but I don't care. I need the help. And if it takes me working extra hard to go ahead and have that for me, for my sanity, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
It's not that it's looked down upon or anything.
I mean, sometimes people will say, oh, like, you have it once a week. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, oh, like, I will have it once a month and I'll go ahead and do it. I cannot keep up.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up. And that's facts, So asking for help here and there, hiring help, doing that, I am all for things like that.
You're definitely not going to be able to keep up.
No.
Exactly.
No.
I mean, I'm at home. I
Yeah.
work from home.
Mm-hmm.
I have a baby at home.
Yeah.
My kids have homeschool, pods and whatnot.
You're doing a lot.
It's a lot. It's
You're
a lot.
doing a
yeah.
lot.
And I have a dog that lives inside.
Oh
'cause
my
He
gosh,
thinks he's a
yeah.
Chihuahua, but he's a pit bull. So there's a lot to consider,
Yeah.
and we're not even talking about the things that are happening outside.
Right.
So getting the help is not taboo. I mean, people who can clean their house every day of their
Yeah.
lives, like that's amazing. But
Good for you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm not one.
if I, I'm gonna level myself up to once a week
Yeah.
help because I can't do this once a month thing.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Once a
See, I
week.
work and I want to have the luxury of having someone clean my house. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to have a expensive bag. I keep going back on the bag thing. But
Yeah. So
What?
to me, I define luxury in those things.
Yeah.
Hiring help, getting, ordering food, like homemade meals.
Yeah.
Shout out to same day meals.
Same day meal.
So
Shout
ordering food, not cooking, just little things to go ahead and eliminate the daily stresses. I am all for that. For example, like getting my hair done, right? I almost get my hair done almost every day.
Yeah.
To me, it makes me feel good. That to me is a luxury.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you define as luxury.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
So, to me, these are my main things that,
I would definitely pay for those
yeah,
luxuries.
right.
I mean, it makes sense because now
It
you're
feels good.
energetically
Feels good.
equipped to handle your children.
Right.
You're not just cleaning all day.
The amount of time I used to not go to bed, I swear to God, until 1:32, cleaning laundry, and I'm like, and I was spending zero time with my kids, zero time with my husband. They would sit down, watch a movie. Here I am washing, doing this, doing that, laundry here and there. I'm like, I am done. I am done. We need to hire help.
Yeah.
And
because if they're not going to do it,
it's been about 5 years now that, I do have help, and I love it. They're the first people that I text for Thanksgiving because I'm so thankful.
You're so happy Thanksgiving. Just want to show how much I appreciate all of you in my life.
Right. I can't do it without them. No. And I'm being honest. I can't do it.
It's very important to have help.
Yeah.
In any shape or form that you can acquire it in.
Mm-hmm. And now we have time to dance.
Yeah.
We have time to watch something. If my son wants to go somewhere, no problem. Let's go ahead and go. So that mental relaxation is worth to me.
It's luxury.
Yeah. It's luxury.
Yeah.
It's luxury. Yeah.
So what you're really paying for is not help. You're paying for mental health.
Correct.
For yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sanity.
I mean, look at how many women spend, like you said, so much of their life.
Nobody's going to give you an award for washing 1,000 dishes. Nobody.
I remember my mom.
Nobody's going to give you a medal.
Wash dishes all day. Yeah. No one's going to have that memory either.
Nobody. But they will remember you. You did this with them. You did that with them. You were there with them. Little things, daily tasks, we're saying. No one's going to come and say, oh, good job. You washed this. Or, good job.
Yeah.
No. So if I am
my
all
mom
for
scrubbed
that.
the crap out of those plates all day.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you want your kids to be thinking of you
exactly.
as.
Yeah.
The plate scrubber.
Yeah.
It's difficult being a mom in the modern. Well, I don't want to say difficult because then like the women in the 1800s, like, what do you know about difficulty?
Right.
It's not. But we have our own challenges.
Yeah.
Because there are things we want to do for ourselves in our life, and then we remember that, oh look, I have to serve all these people prior to serving myself.
Correct.
And that statement of serve yourself first and then serve others, how? Like, I want to know how that could be possible in any world for a mom.
I don't believe in that either.
Yeah. I mean, what you're doing is higher,
Yeah.
could be that.
Yeah. I mean, but I have to make sure everybody is okay before I'm okay. So,
exactly.
But hiring help, if my husband told me no, then it's a no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to make sure he's okay with it. My kids are okay with it. But not just with that, just with everything. Like, you serve them before you serve you.
Yeah. I think that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Is if we focus on serving each other versus ourselves.
Right.
Because if I'm serving you and you're serving me, we're both being served.
Right. It makes me happy. It makes you happy.
Exactly.
Right.
I told my dad, I'm like, hey, when someone approaches you and says, do you need help? Because, he walks with crutches. Don't deny them.
Right.
Don't deny them help just because you want to be self-sufficient.
Right.
That's that person's calling at that time.
Right.
You give them the opportunity to help you, then they're going to make, it's a neural pathway, like they're going to want to do this, help each other more often.
Yeah.
They're going to offer their help more often. So don't deny anyone that offers their help to you.
Offers your help, take it. Why not? Yeah. But I think we're just used to that, doing everything ourselves and not outsourcing and not asking for help.
Right. But accepting help. You don't have to ever ask, but should someone recognize it and offer, accept it for sure.
Gestures.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's what helps people grow in their communities. Because you did say you love the Armenian community.
I do.
How can we help the Armenian community in your perspective as of today? And it's a very broad question, but I'm leaving it open-ended for you to maybe express yourself. Like, what does our community need help with to grow?
As far as
maybe anything you've noticed,
businesses, as far as like. So, I mean, I like to, with my very small account, promote small businesses. And, if I can get somebody, one person seeing it and they end up using that service, that makes me happy. You know, so, and I think us as Armenians, we are such a beautiful culture, and we're fun, and we're vibrant, and we're smart, and we're unique. And I feel like we need to embrace that more as like a culture, because when I go ahead and post these videos of Tiguanay dancing, the amount of comments that I will get sometimes, I'm just like, why aren't people like looking at it as a positive thing?
You get negative comments.
Yeah, like
saying,
I'm not saying a lot, but you know, when it comes, you're like, okay, you know that saying where they say, you know, you should. It's none of your business what people think about you, but when somebody tells you what they think about you, then it becomes your business, right? So, and then I'm just like, why isn't it being embraced where here it is, a Armenian couple having fun, dancing, instead of, you know, people saying, oh, you know what? Let me do that too. You don't have to post it, but you can do that, right? Instead of voicing a negative opinion on it, you know? So I think we need more of that, to be honest.
We need less negative opinions and more
just positive outlook. Yeah, just have a positive outlook. People that write or think.
What is it about it that they don't like? Like, what's so negative about it?
So I'll get comments like, you know, can I say it in Armenian?
Yeah.
Like, Yeka kanikes almota. I'll get that. I'll get Zazveli. I'll get, yeah. There are some like vulgar ones out there. One time I got a DM from this Persian Armenian girl. She goes, you are the reason why Persian Armenians get made fun of. I'm like, I didn't know I have that much power. Like, really?
Amazing.
Like, who's making fun of you?
Yeah.
Who's making fun of you? You know? So.
Wow.
I'll
Talking about insecurities.
Yeah. I'll get comments like that and all that. Or I'll get khapnavats, apush. Yeah. Like, just really
shocked.
Yeah. And it is coming from Armenians, you know?
Yeah.
Like, again, instead of like, embracing it, right? And be like, you know what? Okay, they're young. They have a good time. And we're not that young, right? We're a middle age. So I'm not this.
We're young.
Yeah, we're still young.
Yeah.
We're still young, you know? But instead of people seeing it and wanting it to be like a lighter thing, but it's very small, that population. But these videos do get a lot of shares. Sometimes when they will share it to like a friend, you know how like they'll go ahead and write something bad, negative, and then the post will go ahead and come to me instead of their friend. I'm like, oh God, at least learn how to share it, right? I just
so
don't even
what
respond.
You're suggesting for our community, and you know, I'm sure every community has this. It's not like,
of course,
go look at other people's comments, but what you said about like us being beautiful, fun, you know, vibrant people. You know, there's no reason to talk poorly upon somebody that you have no skin in the game.
Correct.
Like, why is this person's activities so harmful to your mental health?
Right. Am I using vulgar language? Am I showing something that is triggering?
Are you reading a book at a library to children?
What am I doing?
That's the only thing I'm going to say.
What am I doing? That's so...
Exactly. You're not doing anything wrong. What you're doing is you're giving us insight about how to be with your spouse.
Right.
About how to have fun with your spouse.
How to have fun. That's it. Yeah. I think it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. I am hopeful at least one or two people, you know, take that and be like, oh, you know what? Well, you know, like, let's do what Ani and Titigo are doing, right? So if like I were to go ahead and watch, and I'll be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do something like that with my
I'm calling
husband.
a challenge. All of Ani's followers, friends, whoever is following her account, I'm challenging you all to have a dance off with your spouse.
Oh my gosh, that'll be epic.
Yeah, and tag Ani.
Yes.
Bad Moms Media too. I'll repost it too. But
Oh
tag
my
Ani.
gosh, that'll be epic.
That'll be so fun to watch all of the renditions. Maybe we can like do a copy of your dances. Do a split screen.
Oh my God. You know,
Love
like
it.
back in the day, I used to do challenges. I'm serious. Nobody
right.
would participate. Only like,
Can you explain
challenge.
to what a rare challenge
Red challenge,
is?
yeah. So it was December when I came up. I'm like, you know what? How fun. So I did it.
Yeah.
And then I tagged people. I'm like, you guys do it too. And the winner gets a prize. So they would dance and they would tag me and I would repost them. So the first challenge went really well. I did one the following month, another challenge. And then slowly, people started to not participate. Yeah. They're like, oh, well, I'm shy. I don't want you to post it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. So, but I used to do those once a month.
Let's do a Tico and Ani
Challenge.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So then you're no stranger to the challenges.
No.
Awesome. I know you're in lending and mortgages. You've been doing this for years and years.
Years and years.
How many years? Like 10 over?
Yeah, so straight lending from 2011.
Okay. And now that the market is, I'm not very familiar with how the market is, but I don't think it's the best right now for...
Well, it is getting better than what it was, I want to say, about a few months ago. Yeah. So we are seeing it going on a downward trend. We haven't seen rates in the sixes for a very long time. Now we are. So on conventional full documented loans, I want to specify that because people hear, oh, it's in the sixes, but if they don't qualify income-wise on paper and we have to go with another loan program such as stated income, so those rates are obviously higher. The less documents you show, the higher of a rate you're going to get. So, but it is at a downward trend. And one thing that I love about where I go ahead and work for and what Option One Lending that I am a part of, their a brokership, is that we have a variety of loan programs that we can get any type of buyer in. So, you know, when it comes to full documented, FHA, conventional, stated, and all that. So, and that's why I love where I am. And they are really one of the best out there. So I'm very blessed. Yeah.
So if you guys need your help with some lending,
yes,
and your mortgage, with buying a house, reach out to Ani.
Yeah, thank you.
And what is it, you give a free quote or?
Oh yeah, absolutely free consultation. Our office is in Sherman Oaks. You guys can come, stop by, make an appointment. We'll go over all of the detailing with them, and I go over everything. So before I go ahead and issue a approval out to you to go ahead and go out home shopping, everything is checked by us. Your credit, your income, your assets, everything is checked. And when we go ahead and give you that letter, you know, then you can go out home shopping. Don't go home shopping without getting pre-approved. I cannot say this enough. Know how much you're able to afford. Know your maximum purchase price. And it's free. Consultation is free. Pre-approval is free. Everything. Yeah. So
I don't understand why anyone would not take that offer.
You'll be surprised. Yeah. People go out home shopping where they don't know how much of a loan that they're able to go ahead and get. Sometimes I'll get calls where people are in escrow and they have accepted the offer. Not now as much, before, that they don't have a loan. They put in an offer, their offer gets accepted, and guess what? They don't qualify for a loan, and they're scrambling around trying to get, you know, people involved, co-signers, co-borrowers, and I have seen people fall out of escrow, and you don't want to set yourself up for that. You want to set yourself up for success. You don't want to set yourself up for that. So anytime that you're wanting to go ahead and purchase, definitely speak with a lender, preferably me. And then I'll go ahead and set you guys up for success. And our pre-approval is an actual approval. Okay. So, we give it with confidence. Like, you will have no issues with escrow.
It's like a voucher.
Yes.
To go shop.
Yes. Yeah. It's your golden ticket. So, yeah.
Very good. It's very important to know the processes before you actually step out into that world.
For sure.
Ignorance is definitely not bliss.
Correct.
Yeah.
In this case, no. Yeah.
I feel like in a lot of cases it's not. Yeah. It's just a temporary tourniquet for certain things, but it's definitely not blissful to be ignorant.
Yeah. Correct.
I don't know. Especially coming from a place where and then when you find out things that you didn't know, it's not very blissful.
Right.
And when it wasn't blissful then either. You just didn't know.
you just didn't know about it. Exactly.
Christian, how much time do we have left? Oh, now's about the time. Yes. All right. Ani John, you want to share the last thing you want to share with the audience right now before
How did I do?
You did amazing.
Yeah? Was I good?
You're great. Okay. I feel like we could have talked more.
Yeah.
And we had a pre-convo also before we started shooting.
We did. That one was a thing. It was good.
It was a good pre-convo.
Juicy.
I think what I need to do is ask him to start recording pre-convos. Can we do that? Yeah. We should do that.
Yeah. That'll be fun. So I just want to say thank you for having me on here. I love you so, so much. I respect you. I really love what you go ahead and do and what you stand for. So thank you for having me on. Thank you to all of my Aziz Nair on my Instagram. You guys do go ahead and make me happy every single day, truly. And I think that's what keeps me going as well. So just,
I love you too. I think you're amazing. Keep shining bright. I'll always give people like yourself a platform. Should I have, anything, any platform for you guys to stand on. So I appreciate you.
You're so amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you. Everyone loves you. And I was like, I love Ani too, so I want her on. So,
Jonna, I love you guys too. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please subscribe to Red Angeles Network on all major streaming networks. Yes, I gotta get this lingo right. Subscribe to Red Angeles Network, YouTube, X, Twitter. Wait, that is the same thing. You get the gist. And tune in next week. We'll have a new guest for next week, and I'll let you guys know who it is next week. And so thankful for all the patience, you guys. Thank you so much. See you next week. Thank you, Ani.
Thank you.
Let it drop. Let it drop.